everybody. Welcome back to vidIQ, the creator-obsessed YouTube education channel that for the next couple of hours is going to take you through a wonderful live streaming experience where you share your channels with us, experts, fellow YouTubers, and we share our thoughts, our opinions, our constructive criticism to help you on the next step of your YouTube journey. We are into Techtober, which doesn't mean too much here at vidIQ, although we may get some new technology to help us guide us through these live streams as well. And it is episode 40, episode 40 of 2022 episode. I have no idea of the grand life of vidIQ live streams. I'm going to call it season 5, episode 40. Let's go along with that. As always, I could not go through this live streaming adventure without a couple of solid, reliable, dependable co-hosts, none of who can join me this week. So instead, hey, Travis, welcome back. How are you doing?
What is going on? I am here ready to have fun looking at YouTube channels. It's not like I do that every day or anything like that at all, but willing and happy and ready to do it.
I just want to say, Travis, your microphone always sounds fantastic. And
nice.
I feel as if I need one as well. Just let us know in the chat, for all of the people in the chat, what microphone are you using?
This is the Procaster, and I have the Rodecaster Pro and the Procaster because
right.
Rode uses names that are so similar you actually have to look at them to make sure you're saying the right thing.
So another one of the Rodecaster aficionados here. That's why you sound so delicious. And welcoming back after a month off, we want to say hello to Jeff. Welcome back to vidIQ live streams. How are you doing, sir?
Doing okay, man. How are you guys doing?
We are all looking good. We definitely have a certain style going on today.
Yeah, I was just going to say we have the glasses and bald heads. I just now saw
bald heads,
like,
glasses, headphones, meme with that as you will. If you're wondering where Dan is this week, we have finally allowed him a bit of time off to rest and recuperate. So Dan, I'm not going to say, you're not here to defend yourself, but I'm not here to lay any shade on you. I'm going to miss you this week, Dan. We're going to miss your gaming expertise. We're going to try our best to navigate through the gaming channels, but Dan is a permanent fixture of the live streams these days. We hope you're having a good time off to relax, and we'll hold the fort down while you're not here. Now, Dan, sorry, Dan, I've made a mistake already. Travis and Jeff, I just automatically say Dan as the first person I'm going to address. Travis and Jeff, just before we jump into the live stream that we usually do, which is channel audits, saw an interesting, shocking, concerning rumor on the Twitter feeds. And it goes along the lines of this. Some people are starting to see a potential paywall for 4K video. So if you set your video to 4K, then it will say that you need YouTube Premium. I don't think this has been rolled out to like any more than a tiny fraction of people right now. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are, both as a viewer and a content creator, if YouTube decided to put 4K content behind what is usually about, a $10 a month at least paywall.
Yeah, I mean, so a couple things. Number one, I have premium. I a lot of times forget that I have YouTube Premium. I got it maybe a year or so ago. I don't remember. I think because I was getting really annoyed with some of the ads in between certain videos because they were getting kind of excessive back then. So I completely forget about ads or anything like that. Everything just works. And as far as 4K goes, so I don't know if this is going to be a thing or not. When I first heard the rumor that they're going to make people pay for it, I was like, there's no way YouTube's going to do that. But then if you think about it, there's a couple of reasons why they might. Now, if you look at what's been going on in the industry, Twitch especially has been pointing out how expensive it is for them to operate. Now, that's just a weird thing to do. The reason they did that, though, is because they're cutting the amount of money that they're giving out to certain creators, and they're trying to justify it by how much it costs. Now, YouTube's been swallowing the cost of holding all of your guys and gals videos on their servers and streaming them for many, many years. So could it be that anything above 4K is something that they will charge for? And again, at first I was like, no, but I bet what's really happening here is it possible? Maybe, because here's the thing. The vast majority of views on YouTube, and they tell us this, are on mobile, which
Correct.
is not 4K. Yeah. Secondarily, there's a bunch of people watching on tablets, not 4K.
Yeah.
There is a bunch of people, which I'm included, that watches it on TV. I do, which would take advantage of 4K if you have a 4K set and everything else. So my guess is if they do this, the actual affected viewer is very low. Does it make me happy as a creator? No, because I do my stuff in 4K. I want anyone who has access to that to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
But it would definitely save them bandwidth. 100% it would. It would be a cheaper thing. But that's the other thing is if you look at the YouTube app on your phone, you actually have to, especially on iPhone, you have to dive through a bunch of different settings to even manually select like a resolution. Like by default, it's like this automatic thing, which a lot of times kicks you in 480p, even if you have a screen that's better than that. So my guess is if they're testing it now and they're going to see what the viewer experience is. If viewers start to complain about it, it probably won't go through. But if no one complains about it, this could be a thing.
Yeah, I'm just putting comments on screen as you feedback, so appreciate that. Jeff, any thoughts from you about this?
Yeah, that was kind of an oddball move, but honestly, for most people, it's not going to affect them. Like I would say most people that I speak to, when I ask them like, hey, when you watch YouTube, what are you watching on? And it's 90% of the time phone, some of them are desktop.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And unless you actually have a 4K monitor, which most people don't, most people are just still running 1080p monitors. Yeah. So it's one of those things like not everybody's going to be able to really take advantage of it anyway. Some people still select 4K and they don't have a 4K screen. Like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting data like that? It's no point. So it is a bit weird, but here's the thing, especially for what it's worth. If premium is available in your area and you can afford it, you should definitely get it. Because people love to complain about ads being played before videos. Well, here's your solution. And it's literally a win-win for both you as a viewer and for the creator, because you're still supporting creators in what they're doing, and you don't have to watch ads. So it's a win-win. So if you can afford it, it's definitely worth getting.
So my initial reaction was similar to this one. It feels like a bit of a cynical cash grab from YouTube. And I guess my thought for that comes from when you offer something for free for so long and then put it behind a paywall, where's the justification for that? And I'll tell you one type of content creator who may suffer from this, although it's probably not as relevant now as it was maybe 5 to 6 years ago. There were content creators who pretty much based their channels on the fact that their content was in 4K. Something that's visually interesting, like drone footage of 4K over New York City might be an example. Or these really cool looking wildlife videos, city walks. I think there are some people who pride themselves on the footage being at 4K. But when I think about it more, yeah, I think you're right. It's going to impact maybe 1, 2, 3% of creators. Same time, that could be hundreds of thousands of creators. It may impact 1, 2, 3% of viewers. But at the same time, that's what? Tens of millions of viewers. Mm-hmm. So when we look at this at scale, this could be a huge thing that's coming to YouTube. I think what YouTube will probably need to do is add something extra to the premium paywall. Something new, something fresh. I don't know what that is. New features of some kind to make it more of an incentive. So not only can you still watch content at 4K, but we're also going to give you this extra thing as well, whatever that is. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Maybe the ability to, I don't know what it would be, really. I can't think of any new feature that would be really handy. But something extra beyond being able to watch content that you used to be able to do for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I still want to upload in whatever the best quality is that I can, because I want it to look the best. On my TV, I can see the difference. I also recognize that the majority of people who are watching the content may not be able to see the difference, whether it be because of what they're viewing it on, or maybe they just don't recognize the difference. But yeah, we've been made to appreciate how amazing you can upload 8K content, HDR. You can upload all types of stuff, 3D content, 360 content. But if you try to do that anywhere else, you'd be paying an arm and a leg for that, especially the streaming costs. So maybe YouTube's looking at us and going, well, look, man, this is getting kind of spendy. So it is what it is.
So that was our 5 minutes thoughts and opinions. But if you want to take this to the next level and have a broader, deeper, meaningful conversation and speak to us live, then don't forget there's vidIQ Max. But we'll talk about that a little bit later, because now we need to get into auditing your YouTube channels. And so if you are brand new here, welcome to the live stream. I'm going to explain how this all works in the next 60 seconds. And if you are a regular here, then during those 60 seconds, make sure you make our newcomers feel very, very welcome, because this is how it all works. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear these forms after every live stream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in a chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the live stream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using a link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of his stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. The final pieces of housekeeping, as usual, before we start. We get hundreds of channel submissions every single week. Unfortunately, we can't audit every single channel, but that's not really the specific point of this live stream. What we do is we take channels as a canvas to talk about thumbnails, titles, channel focus, consistency. And the chances are, as we're looking at a beauty channel, the things we talk about could be very relevant to a travel channel or a cooking channel, because where you probably are in your YouTube journey, you share struggles and challenges with many other creators of different shapes and sizes. So do try to bear that in mind. By being audited, you're not going to get a huge influx of views and subscribers. It's not really a shout out live stream. And even if you did get, hundreds of views from everybody watching, the chances are they're the wrong audience to watch your content. We're all here today as YouTube educators and wanting to grow our YouTube channels, but we're not here to find new audiences in this live stream. That's the advice we're going to give to you to hopefully go out there and find the audiences on YouTube. And just before we start, let us know in the chat how you're currently feeling in the way of a YouTube metaphor. There is this thing called F in the chat. We don't want you to say that. We want you to tell us what you are out of 10 in the chat. Like when you're watching your latest YouTube video go live, and it could be a 1 of 10, or it could be a 3 of 10, or a 9 of 10. Let us know right now where you're at in your YouTube level of confidence, excitement, and enthusiasm. And with that, we will start auditing your channels with the first channel that filled out the form yesterday when the live stream went live. And Jeff and Travis, this is going to be one for the ages. I don't think we've ever audited a channel like this, but we'll audit channels of all shapes and literally sizes in this case, because it is a channel that's growing about a very, very tiny thing. It is Novo ants, ant keeping, ant equipment, product reviews. I'm going to throw this to Travis for first impressions. Do you know you're in the right place, Travis, when looking at this channel after 10 seconds?
I think so. Novo ants. There's an ant at the top. There's some thumbnails with ants. It feels very anty. So, I mean, I would like to, I don't know exactly what I'm going to get from this. I don't know what Novo Ants is. Is Novo the creator? Is that a place somewhere? Whatever.
Right.
I think in some ways with something so unique, a fun to remember name maybe would, again, it's probably too late. You have 3,700 subscribers, but fun to remember, like Ants Hill or something. I don't know, maybe a pun or something. It would be something that it would be kind of fun. Anyway, what's the purpose of this channel? So let's see. I don't know if I can even tell. We have monster ants inside a bull, colony ant. Okay, bull ants. A lot of bull ants. I never heard of a bull ant before. Golden ants, colony. So it's like ant education. I'm curious, like, who is the viewer for this? Because most people, I think, that are, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think a lot, in my mind, people who are going on YouTube and typing in ants are trying to kill them, not necessarily trying to keep them alive. Although there are like, you know, ant farms and stuff, so maybe that's something.
Please
so
don't
what does this
upload
say?
that type of content to YouTube.
Ant keeping.
I think,
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I think it's ant keeping.
Mhm.
So it's similar to like a you know, a pet channel, but your pets are ants, and this is the best way to look after them.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be your value proposition, couldn't it? When your pet is an ant, when your pet is an ant, look after it like this.
Yeah. You know, we've seen this channel before, Rob.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I know we've done an ant keeping channel before, but like a year ago, 2 years ago.
It was a while back, man.
Yeah.
But we've seen this channel before.
Wow, I'm glad you remember it specifically, Jeff.
I remember it because of, as we're scrolling down, how they have the ant really big and they're using minimal text. I know we've had this conversation with them before, and they actually took notes. So some of the stuff I can see that they've made a difference, and I like how they're portraying themselves. You know what I mean? It's coming across very clear. Especially some of the older ones were a little bit tougher to make out exactly what it is, but with a lot of the newer ones, it's really very, very obvious. Like, hey, this is ants. This is what we're talking about. So, and the views sort of reflect it on certain ones. So,
I mean, are there any other thumbnail pieces of advice we could start to give here? I mean, I'm looking at red text on the thumbnails. I'm still not a fan of that in some of these. I like the idea of some of these where they just try and throw as many ants onto a thumbnail as possible, which gives it sort of like that organized chaos kind of look. But I feel as if, for example, a thumbnail like this could do with more work.
It's been a minute since I've been on a live stream, so I forget sometimes how comedic the live stream can be. Someone said, we're talking about all these ants, but what about uncles? It's a good,
right.
It's a great question.
Hang on,
I like the zoomed in ants. I think it's, you know, it kind of gives you a better idea of what you're looking for. And if you're an ant keeper or an ant owner, I guess is what it would. Do you ever really own ants? I don't know. Then you probably know kind of what they look like close up. So these close ups are really kind of interesting. And even if you're not into that sort of thing and you're just kind of interested in interesting, you know, information, then I think those are also useful. Some of these, the shorts, you can't do anything about. But some of these are kind of further away, and it's a little bit harder to see exactly what's going on. But I like the ones that are zoomed in.
Yeah, and I agree with the red text. You just got to be a little bit careful with that, because sometimes it can get lost a little bit, especially if the colors are shifting on the backdrop. So whether it needs a drop shadow on it, whether the letters need a stroke, or if we just need to try some different color combinations to see what works best, that might be one way to do it, so that the text can be clearly read. Like there's this one here, although it did pretty well inside a large ant colony. You see the green on the bottom, the red text on the top, where there's some different colors on the backdrop. So the text on the right side can get a little lost if you're looking at it, you know, on a smaller device. But aside from that, overall, I like the way it's coming along, and that video actually did surprisingly well. So
now, a question I maybe want to ask you, and this is kind of a discussion point. Do you think this creator should continue to be quite niche and focused in going after viewers who presumably are interested in running their own ant farms or keeping ants? Or do you think there might be a bit of scope here for making more accessible, fun content? And the reason I say that is I would like to know how much an ant can lift, because we always hear that ants can lift like 50 times their body weight. So could you maybe do a video where you have a toy car or something, and the ants are all taking this toy car from one place to another? And that, to me, would be really interesting and entertaining. I know that doesn't necessarily target your specific audience, but if you wanted to get more of a casual viewing audience in and potentially have some viral content, another one might be like, how many ants are there in a colony? And then you film every single one of them walking down a strip or something, and set it to a time lapse. I just look at these thumbnails, I look at these titles, and they feel somewhat impenetrable, a little inaccessible to maybe someone like me. But I would love to know your thoughts about whether this creator should think about being a little more broad and approachable with their content.
Yeah, I like that idea of doing like ant challenges or ant tricks or something. I mean, why not? I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, if it's doable to bring a different angle on it, because there's always going to be the educational side of it, right? So what are the basics? What are the things you need? The top 5 things you should get, especially for the beginner level, like somebody who wants to get into this hobby. So obviously there's going to be that angle of it, but if there's a way that they could bring the entertainment side of it also, would be pretty interesting to see.
So like, how much can an ant carry? Or how crazy ants can carry heavy loads?
Yeah, I mean, any of the things, especially I like, the ant myths. I don't know how many ant myths there are.
Yeah.
But still pretty good.
Ant myths. Yeah.
That's a good way to set up a listicle that you can do periodically. You know what I mean? If there's 50 myths, you could break that down into 10 top 5 videos or 5 top 10 videos, and however you want to roll with it.
So yeah, this is just a thought about a new series, which may be a little left field for the very detailed, specific. Obviously, you're clearly passionate about the keeping ants and educating people and educating them. But what if I'm never going to own an ant farm? But I'm maybe interested in something quirky or unusual. You can tell me about ants and make it edutainment, so to speak, because this feels very much education. Is there any entertainment you can bring in there? Obviously, while treating your ants with respect, not harming them in any way. But I don't want to encourage that. But just from the YouTube audience perspective, is there anything you can do to bring more in? Because I'm wondering where the ceiling is for your channel. Is it 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers? And that's all you're ever going to achieve? Something to consider there. So that is Novo Ants. And now, Jeff, Travis, and I are all going to take deep breaths as we try and tackle a gaming channel without the help of Dan. So this is the first channel that's submitted on the form. For the gaming channels, there are the forms in the description. We'll be auditing those channels a little later on. But the first one that submitted was Iron Fist CDL. And I guess I'll be brave enough to go first here and allow Jeff and Travis to digest this channel a little bit. I'm seeing shorts. I'm seeing a significant amount of shorts. Like all of these are in the last 4 days. So that's 18 shorts in 4 days. So a cadence of 3 to 4 shorts a day, which is probably, I would say, is where your limit is. I wouldn't want you to go any higher than that, especially when some of the videos are getting less than 10 views. That would suggest there's a potential quality problem with them. So you may want to invest a little bit more time in thinking about which videos perform really well and maximizing the potential of them. I see some videos that have thousands of views. That's fantastic. And from the very limited knowledge I know of shorts, I would be thinking about how I could pretty much replicate that video with maybe a slightly different topic or concept. For example, decoys are funny in Modern Warfare 2. What if you just took that title and then replaced decoys with blank? Might be SMGs, rocket launchers, tanks are funny in Modern Warfare 2, and try and repeat that theme, but with a very similar title. Because I've seen this time and time again, that creators who latch on to a particular title structure in shorts and repeat that do very, very well. Those are just my thoughts. Travis, I know you've been experimenting with shorts on your channel and having some measured success.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about them because it's different now. So shorts are different, and we're getting a lot of questions about this even in the vidIQ Max Discord.
Right.
One of the things that we learned in one of the Max sessions with Todd from YouTube is that the I don't know if you want to call it the algorithm, or it might even be like the discovery systems are getting a lot more optimized and finding viewers faster, but then also dumping performance faster. So when shorts first came out, when you very first started covering them in, I think it was August of like 2020 or something.
No, it's 2019.
2019. I mean, my gosh, that's incredible. When you very first started covering them, it took 2, sometimes 3 days before a video would hit the short shelf. We are now seeing videos hit the short shelf in less than 30 minutes. But you might think, oh, that's great. That means everything gets to go there faster, which is true. However, they die faster too, because, you know, a video that used to take, 5 days to get 9,000 views might only take 30 minutes now, and then it dies right away. So the overall performance might be the same, but the experience you're having is completely different. So with shorts, it's just different. It's way different than it used to be, and some people aren't used to it. Having said that, like anything else, shorts can take off and go somewhere really interesting. But when you do something like October 1st, 2022 as the short name, you're not helping yourself. It doesn't really help YouTube figure out anything about that video and know who to serve it to. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want some more descriptive titles for the shorts. I mean, you can get away sometimes with kind of vague titles, but you'll notice those channels tend to have a lot of subscribers and people who've watched their channel recently.
Yeah.
When you're kind of first doing this, you need to help YouTube out somewhat. You need to do it.
Yeah. Any more observations here, Jeff? I know it's always really hard with shorts because we don't have a thumbnail to work with, and sometimes there's so much content, and the titles sometimes aren't that descriptive. Is there any more meat on the bone here for you?
No, I mean, I think you guys really nailed it. And I would also want to double down on what Rob was saying and really look at the ones that did best for you, because it isn't just one, like when Rob had mentioned like the decoys are funny. So you can change that. You can change that first to something else, or even I think there was another one like campers suck. Okay. But what else sucks? You can always swap that out with something else. Just anything along those lines. That your defense sucks. Okay, what about one about your offense sucks, or your movement sucks, or your positioning sucks? So just start thinking of different angles you can take on the successful shorts that you've had, and try to throw some other ones out there with just a slightly different angle. We've seen a lot of people do this, whether it's the best of something, the worst of something, however they want to do it. But this is one way where they can try to at least just kind of come at the same thing, just a little bit different on the angle, and see how it pops off.
I'll tell you why I'm thinking along these lines at the moment. We've been experimenting with shorts very loosely at the weekends. And we've noticed that whenever we mention the algorithm, we keep it super simple. We mention the YouTube algorithm, the shorts tend to perform better. So what I'm going to do is make 10 YouTube shorts, but I simply titled How to Hack the YouTube Algorithm. It might be part 1, part 2, part 3. And I know usually we wouldn't recommend doing that, but I want to test it. I just want to keep the title very, very similar. And each one is going to be how to hack the YouTube algorithm. Instead of using the word algorithm, use the word audience. Boom. That's the short. And then I'm going to do another one like how to hack the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you tell people at the end of the video to go watch something else from your channel, because you're going to increase your average views per viewer. Bang, done. Move on to the next one. And we're going to experiment with that. So hopefully I'll have some more data on that. But it feels like even more in YouTube shorts, when you find success, double down on that success quite aggressively to see what happens, especially when you're trying to find your audience on YouTube shorts. So I think we've successfully negotiated our first gaming channel today. If you believe we've given some good advice, make sure to give us an emoji thumbs up in a chat and like this video, because we are 200 likes short of concurrent viewers. And I hate it when that happens. In the meantime, we'll audit the next channel, which is called Quick Daily News. And I asked Travis before we went live, why did we pick this channel to audit? And Travis's response in a sentence was...
I don't remember. That was like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. I don't remember what I said.
Thanks.
But yeah, I mean, I picked this for a number of reasons, because I think I might have said, well, what's the point?
There we go.
Now, I'm not dismissing this as like a popular or an unimportant type of content strategy. It's actually pretty good. It's basically shorts of news, quick little tidbits. But I guess the question would be, and the answer might be just to share the news, which is cool. That's fine. But my overarching thing, because I know a lot of people that come to this live stream are either trying to grow their channel or trying to, gain a full-time YouTube gig or something like that. And this isn't the way to do it for a couple of reasons. But again, it may be that that's not the point of this channel. So I want to preface all of this by saying they might just be doing this just to share knowledge. And if so, fine. But the alarming thing here is obviously they're reusing content. So there's your first problem.
Yeah.
You're using content that's not original, which means you won't get monetized. So that's number one. Number two, depending on, what exactly you're using and who you're using it from, you could get copyright strike completely into oblivion in one day. Like it could happen right off the bat. So then all the work you've done is gone down the toilet very fast. So I think it's really important to understand that. And then another thing that when I first looked at this that kind of came to mind is news channels rarely, and I mean rarely, have consistent views. And you can go to anyone. You can go to Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, whatever. You go to their YouTube channels, they're very inconsistent. And one of the reasons is not everyone's interested in all pieces of the news every day. Like if you watch the news on television, likely there's times you're just not even paying attention. The equivalent of that is not clicking on a video. So what's going to happen is you're going to have some videos do very well and then others that don't. And that's okay. That's fine. Again, if you're looking to just share, data, that's cool. If you're looking to actually grow something, I'm just going to say it again, this is not the way to do it. A, it's not your content. B, you're not going to be able to monetize. And C, your views are going to be all over the place. So you're not going to ever have a viewership that's going to come back specifically for you because you are doing something different. But again, it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there in terms of repurposing content from elsewhere. I play the President Biden one here just to see what they were doing. As far as I can tell, they're just adding captions to something that was on. Is that the CBS logo?
Yes. It's the eye.
Yeah. So this is not considered transformational content, I don't believe, just adding some captions to this content. So as you say, Travis, this channel may have 1 or 2 videos that go viral and get millions of views. That's brilliant. But then you're on YouTube's radar, and it's very unlikely that you'll get monetized. Although I'm just seeing here, they're saying thank you to us for something here.
Oh,
and now we're just auditing their channel, telling them that, oh, hang on. I did it 9 minutes ago. Oh, wow.
Wait, let's see that. Click on it. What does it say?
Okay. Let's play it.
That's ironic. Being us, we've been 2 months. How did you do that so fast?
How did you know we were going to pick you?
What?
They must have maybe seen it in the video tab.
Influencers up the game. Wow. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's the most impressive thing I've seen, and I've seen some fairly impressive things on this live stream, but that's the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, sorry for ripping into your channel a little bit then, but we're just trying to give you honest, constructive criticism. We see this one here about Rafael Nadal crying as Roger Federer retires. Now, maybe if you were just a sports tennis clip channel and that's all you uploaded to the channel, I think that would have more relevancy than you go from Rafael Nadal to Roger Federer. Okay, those two things are connected. And then train hits officer vehicle in Colorado. A much more serious story. A different location, different type of content. That's probably why the views just dropped like a stone on that one.
Yeah. Again, it's news, so it's all over the place. There's certain things that just don't connect with others.
And that's the thing. If you're grabbing this content from somewhere else, then it's already old news, I'm afraid to say. It doesn't matter if you manage to get it from somewhere and upload it within 10 minutes. You've still got it from a second source. And why are people going to come to your channel to get this content unless there's some common theme and thread throughout? Any other thoughts here, Jeff? I'm just checking how long the channel's been live. It's been live for about a month. Unfortunately, it looks as if they were taking a lot of content in from ABC, although that looks all like...
Yeah, that'd be my main concern and you really hit the nail on the head there as well. Once again, is why would someone come to you when they can go to the source, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to be a low budget version of something else? I would just go to the source. Like, I don't watch a channel that reposts ABC News. I watch ABC News.
Yeah.
It's what I'm kind of getting at. So I know it can sound a little bit on the harsh side, but it really is what it is. Now, if you were going to do these shorts where you were going to put your opinion on what's being told, or if you were going to report it yourself the way a reporter would, like, hey, here's a new news story. Hurricane Ian hit, Florida, and you're kind of putting your voice at it, or a voice actor or whoever. But to kind of change it, to kind of make it original at least, or transformative in a way, would lend it at least a bit more credibility. So just something to give some thought about.
So we appreciate your love. Quick daily news. But I think there's a lot of work to do on your channel if you want to make it sustainable going forward. Next channel we're going to look at is She Builds Her Home. They have 338 subscribers. They're posting on a weekly basis, although it looks like more, looking at their cadence now, every day, it looks like. So you're doing some sort of vlog or challenge, I would maybe suggest. And again, Travis, was this one that you picked
Yeah.
pre-order?
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting channel because I liked the name of the channel because it kind of gives an indication of what it is somewhat, right? Like she builds her home, so it must be something about building home. And then I was starting to look at it and I was trying to figure out, okay, what exactly does it mean? Because the titles of some of these videos, I'm just trying to understand. Now, first of all, she does a lot of stuff with Fly Lady. I actually knew Fly Lady over a decade ago. It's funny because I see her name now, and I didn't realize she was still around. But she's
who or what is that? Sorry for being.
The Fly Lady is a lady who has a YouTube channel. Oh, no, she has a website. And back when I knew her, and I don't know if this is still true, she had like a podcast because this was like 12 years ago or something, or 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And she does like organizational things and whatnot around the house and that sort of thing. So some of the stuff does match up with that, like you know, baby steps challenge and like try to get things like don't procrastinate, that sort of thing, kind of lifestyle stuff for the house. So I just wonder, like, some of these though, I understand like using Fly Lady is a good keyword because people who are part of or know who she is and stuff will definitely look for it, and that's not a bad thing at all. But I wonder how much of this title wise could be spiced up a little bit, and maybe even the thumbnail is just a little bit more spicy to kind of make it more interesting. How to budget for beginners is a good one, but the thing is like that could mean a lot of things to a lot of people. If you're talking about how to budget for like a mom or something, be more specific, like be really specific. Let's see what other Fly Lady. Oh yeah, she's there. She's at 105,000 subscribers now. Good for her. She's really very sweet lady. Very, very sweet. I don't know if she would remember who I am, but very sweet lady. Yeah, she does a lot of routine stuff. She's been doing it for so very long. So she's got it going on.
But I would potentially argue that using Fly Lady in your title is kind of limiting your discoverability based on a creator's name as opposed to the concept of the idea that's behind that. I'm trying to. I'm a bit like you, Travis. Is this channel about how to make how to organize your life, how to organize your house? Is it how to build and renovate a house? I don't think it's about that, according to the thumbnails and the titles.
Yeah, that's the thing. And again, the problem is like if people who are in the Fly Lady kind of ecosphere, they would understand it coming into it. But there's more people outside of it than are inside of it. So you want to make it super obvious for people who are not familiar with the whole process and how it works and why it's going to work for them and why it's a good thing for them. So you don't want to just talk to the people who are in the Fly Lady kind of ecosphere. You want to talk to as many people as possible.
I'll take this as an example. Fly Lady Daily Missions, Fly Lady 31 Baby Steps. And then the thumbnail. I have no idea what I'm going to learn or be entertained by or be inspired by from the thumbnail and the title. Am I going to be able to organize my day more efficiently? Am I going to be able to do laundry quicker? Am I going to be able to cook a recipe in 5 minutes? I think for a layman, there's what the disconnect is. How is this video going to make me feel?
Right.
And I don't know what I'm getting from that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the thing that I noticed immediately that lost me as soon as I landed here. And that's one thing that, you know, when we're newer creators, sometimes we tend to forget. I'm not sure how long she's been on YouTube, but sometimes we forget that at least for a lot of new channels, a lot of your views are going to come from people who are not subscribed.
Yeah.
And that for me, that's still the case. You know what I mean? Which is fine. You know, if your channel is going to grow, you want to be seen by new people. So, but that's something where we kind of tend to forget that each of these videos has to, one, work in and of itself, and two, has to be click worthy. Right. So that's one of the things where I want to make sure that that doesn't get lost in the mix because we're looking at day 23 or day 22 and a lot of this Fly Lady stuff. give me a title that's going to make me want to click on it. What am I learning here? Like if it's what's for dinner, or is that like dinner recipes, or whatever it might be, we can leave a lot of that stuff out. And then secondarily, and this is a very, very big one, I'm seeing a lot of the exact same title in the title and in the thumbnail. And that's one thing, like a lot of us are guilty of it, especially when we're just starting out. But this is something where you don't have to do that. Your thumbnail is that chance to get somebody to click, and then your title can be what it needs to be, but they don't have to be the exact same thing. They should play off of each other. So that's something where I would want you to kind of work on that. And also the tiny text, just get rid of it. Because right now I'm looking at you on a 38-inch screen, and I can't read that tiny text. The little tan text, I can't read it. I can read day 23. I can read what's for dinner. But whatever the tiny text is, nope, that's got to go. So, yeah.
Now, I want to give this creative a benefit of a doubt. Let's just say we come to this video here. I'm going to click on it and see what happens in the first 20 seconds. See if I get more of an understanding of the video content and the potential hook. So let me know if you can hear this.
Cannot hear it.
Nope.
You cannot hear it. All right, hang on. Let's see if I can fix that very quickly. Where would I need to go? I think I don't know what I need to do. I need to unmute that. And let me know if you can hear this now.
Wow, how can we be on day 18 already? Did you have a wonderful weekend? Were you doing your habits? Remember, it was just maintaining our current habits, such as in the morning, getting dressed to shoes, doing a 2-minute hotspot, and a 5-minute room rescue. We're also doing a 15-minute declutter and 15-minute rest and making our beds.
Okay, so I'll pause it at 25 seconds. So do you feel as if you're now getting more of a feel of what this creator is trying to share with their audience?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Now, the thing is, the title, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
That's the disconnect.
They went through a couple of things like some daily habits and routines. I think what could have helped there was a bit of B-roll of them actually taking the action. Because if I just scan through, okay, so there is some B-roll later on, but there's an entire minute of you talking to camera, and the viewer may get a little impatient with that single scene. So B-roll might be something to work on in the future.
Yeah, and that's pretty easy to think about. So when you think about something you say in the video, think about how can I show that, right? So if you mention doing your bed, set up your phone, on a dresser or something, and then just show yourself throwing the blanket over it. And that way you can just toss that little clip in. Anytime you mention things like that, where it can visually illustrate what your story is saying, and it basically breaks up the monotony of just you being on camera on screen, then it's something that can definitely help. And it's very easy. I mean, you can record these clips with your phone. I mean, it's really, really super easy to do.
Sure. And I was also thinking about maybe flipping the intro. So I think you start with something along the lines of,
wow, how can we be on day 18 already? Did you have a wonderful weekend? Were you doing your habits? Remember, it was just maintaining our current habits.
So I would start with, so over the weekend, we were trying to maintain our habits by doing this, this, and this. And that was day 18. So you just kind of flipping the intro a little bit to try and keep them engaged, and then introducing more of what the content's about. Now, the reason we're doing this quick video review is because tomorrow I will be doing video reviews where we don't look at the channel or the thumbnails or the titles. We just jump straight into the videos, and then we critique whether or not we would stay on a video, are there any improvements to the video hook, the middle section, the outro, and those type of video conversations. So do make sure to join us tomorrow for more video reviews just like that. So I think we're all in agreement here that this channel clearly has a commitment to consistency. They're posting every day, which is phenomenal.
Love it.
They clearly have a theme, and they have something that they want to share with their audience, but the packaging isn't up to spec, right? The thumbnails are too similar. It's difficult to get an idea of what what's going to be in the videos, and the titles are too maybe formulaic and generic in how they're presenting to the viewer. And those are the things that they probably want to work on first.
Packaging.
Packaging.
Mm-hmm.
So that is She Builds Her Home. The next channel we're going to look at is Shina Warren. What do you reckon? Shiana Warren. That's how I'm going to pronounce it.
That sounds a little bit better.
You have over 100 subscribers, and I do apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. That is just me and my terrible pronunciation capabilities. But Shiana Warren is doing gig work life. So presumably they're driving for Uber, Lyft, they're doing skip the dishes, or what would it be? Is it DoorDash? What do they have in the US for delivering food?
Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the vibe I'm getting from the titles and the channel, not necessarily the thumbnails. I think they could do with some work, but yeah, I'll throw this over to you, Jeff, for first impressions on this one.
Yeah, so one thing I do like is the simplicity in the thumbnails. So there's something to be said for simplicity. We don't want to overdo it because you end up just confusing your audience. I think if anything, they could, because it looks like screen grabs is kind of what I'm getting from it. It looks like the second one, it looks like they did a background removal, like maybe they're experimenting with that, and that's fine. But like this first one and like the third one look like screen grabs out of the video. Now this is easily fixable. If you have a phone, which you obviously do because you're using it for your work, snap a selfie. Just get it nice wide angle on it and snap it real quick. That way you have a nice clean picture to work with. And that way, if you want to add text, anything like that, you can make that work for yourself really easily as well. As far as the text, I like that they're keeping it minimal. So it looks like it's usually less than 5 words. I like to see that. I would probably try to use some sort of a bolder font that's really going to pop a little bit more. But aside from that, let's see.
I have a question to you, Jeff, about thumbnail choice. Do you think they should remove the background, or do you think they should leave in the car background to maybe add like a level of authenticity?
I like the ones with the car background. Do me a favor, let's sort by most popular and let's see how this plays out. Yeah, it seems like the ones that have the actual background seem to perform a little bit better overall. Not to say that the ones that didn't perform. But yeah, I think the level of authenticity feels a little more organic. It feels more like they're actually in the trenches doing the work, like taking the picture in the car, shooting the video in the car. That makes me feel like, hey, this person is on the grind with me. I can learn from this person. So I like that look personally a little bit better.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. One thumbnail that did jump out at me was this one, where I think you're trying to show the amount you're earning from Uber Eats. But this is a classic example of where you may have designed your thumbnail at a certain size on a screen, but then everybody else sees it at this size, and I can't tell at all what these are. So strip one of these out and make sure that dollar amount is very clear and visible, because I think that's probably what people want to see, especially about gig work content. Travis, I'm just going to throw it over to you. Any other thoughts on this one?
I think you got it nailed down. The thumbnail thing is really kind of important, depending on like who the viewer is, what type of things that people are clicking on. But yeah, always, if you're going to put something in there with text, just make sure it's you can read it. If not, there's no point. Yeah.
Yeah. Then big thing too is also, I don't know if they're doing it. I don't know if they're doing any sort of like, it seems like they're doing a lot of like how to do this. Always think of it from the perspective of what are the things that you would have loved to have known when you first decided to do this? Like, what are some pitfalls that you can help new people coming into this avoid, to start kind of coming at it with that sort of an angle, like, answering some of those questions that people might have, especially if they're questions that you can think of that you might have had when you first got started. So just something to think about.
I think that's a good example here, Jeff.
Yeah, like, totally.
How much can you make in a certain number of hours on Uber Eats or one of the other gig economy services? And I think I had one more thought. I think some of the titles are quite interesting. So they are either educational tutorial, how to solve a certain problem or question, or you go into perhaps a little bit more storytelling, like a risky decision with multi-app scheduling of your apps. You're talking about a very common, I assume, problem that people have when using multiple services and how to tackle that. And I think adding these personal stories is interesting. Now, even though this one didn't perform particularly well, this was the worst week ever in the gig economy. I like the compliment of a thumbnail there. Maybe what was missing was a dreadful return on your time and investment. Like you got $5 for 6 hours work, and then you can share a story about how sometimes it isn't as rosy as how Uber advertises what the average driver is going to earn. And so that was an example of where the execution was almost perfect, but I like where you're going with that. And then just finally, look at the passion here and the commitment. Posting very regularly. This is all content from the last year. I think it's also interesting. Look how the creators' attire changes. Presumably all this was in the winter when it was freezing.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah, maybe you should emphasize that a little bit more. Like when it gets towards Halloween, you just start wearing Halloween costumes as you're driving people around. And then when it gets closer to Christmas, you wear something appropriate. I'm wondering how that could impact the storytelling there. And also, for a channel that's only got just over 100 subscribers, the view counts are fairly healthy. You have a couple that are outstanding. Again, going back to this one, that was a standout video for you. Yeah, nearly 300 views. How can you leverage more of that on your channel? So that is I've forgotten how to pronounce this person's name again already. Cheyenne Warren there. And we'll now look at this channel that calls themselves Just Jasmine's Journey.
Yeah.
Why are we looking at this channel? I guess.
So this is the thing. We talk a little bit about vidIQ Max here on the streams, and Jasmine has been a part of vidIQ Max since day one. Now, what's interesting about this is not the channel she started with in vidIQ Max. She has a gaming channel that that she still has.
She doesn't share it on our channel.
She doesn't share it. And well, we can talk. I mean, listen, if you go to the vidIQ Max, you'll know why she doesn't share it. Mm-hmm. The thing is, when she wanted to do something new, she was able to use all the knowledge that she gained from Max. Again, she's been there since day one. She's seen it all. She's been in Discord. So she goes, I'm going to start this new channel. And then through ideas, again, I shouldn't say through ideas, came up with ideas along with the vidIQ Max community, but also used the knowledge that she had, right? And then launched this channel just over a month ago, and it's ridiculous. Look at these views.
Yeah.
These views are insane for a channel that hasn't been out for like more than a month. And this is because she paid attention to everything that we've ever done. And some people might go, well, some of the things you guys are teaching, it's either obvious or whatever. Yeah, but here it is. The proof is in the pudding. This is a brand new channel with no push from any other channel. Straight up 0 subscribers, 0 views, a little bit over a month ago. Really did the hard work, put it out there, and here we are. Just killing it. Now, if you look at this, first of all, she has about 349 subscribers, which is a lot in a month. That's crazy, especially when you start with 0. But look at the views, Rob. Look at these.
Yep,
thousands.
5 to 10-fold number of subscribers, which means this is why I say subscribers never really matter to a channel. This is channel health, and the cadence here is already of a channel that could easily support tens of thousands of subscribers. And the fact that the numbers are really consistent throughout, like 4,000 views, 3,000 views, 2,000, 6,000, 4,000, all really solid and incredible. I guess the question is, why is this happening? What is working with the thumbnails, first of all?
Well, it's more than that, because one of the things that we talked about when she was first coming up with the channel idea, she had like an idea, basic idea. And again, she came into the Discord and she was like, look, I got this idea for a channel. I want to do these things. Right. And we bounced the idea up, because a lot of what gets YouTube success are the topics, like what makes this channel interesting. Some aspects of the thumbnail she went over many times and kind of picked different ones, but it's about her editing, her topic selection, and then the thumbnails. You put all three of those things together, you have a winning channel. And those are things we teach. And in this particular case, believe it or not, the thumbnails are in some cases the least interesting out of all of it. And that's not a slight against her at all, because we worked on some of these thumbnails in the Discord. But when you think about the topic itself and the titles, the thumbnails just kind of help. So for example, the fourth one over, the one with the Dutch foods you have to try, that's some type of fish or something. I still to this day I get it. I watched that video. It's great. But that's kind of like, that's how you're supposed to eat it. We specifically, like, that's one of the things she picked out was like, this is how you eat. I think I remember sending her a link to a bunch of search results for this particular food that she's doing. And a lot of them were like this, because that's how you actually eat it. You eat it from the top down, or like that. Yeah. And because that's what worked for this type of video, she went ahead and used that. But again, so much of the reason that this channel is doing so well is not just because of the thumbnails or the titles. It's the topic, it's the thought, it's the editing. It's taking everything that we teach in Max and putting it together. This is, I believe, one of the first, and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, this is one of the first channels completely born out of Max. In other words, did not exist before they came in Max. Correct. This is a Max born channel using everything we've taught, boom, day one, out into the world.
Yeah. And the one thing that we can't gloss over is applying all those things that you learn in Max, but also the audience focus, right? So this is one of the things where she's not recording a video and then trying to figure things out after, trying to figure out a title, trying to figure out a thumbnail. Yeah. She's using the process of researching first before doing what she does. So this is why we're so incredibly proud of Jasmine and what she's doing with her new channel. It's amazing to see. It's one of those things where you hear people that meme that say you love to see it. Yeah, we love to see it.
And one of the things I would do, like once she gets this kind of rolling and she gets monetized and all the other things, I would probably tell her to outsource thumbnails. Not because she can't do good thumbnails, she can do fine thumbnails. Yeah. But I think you're going to get some amazing thumbnails by some artists that are like $5 or $10, and you can concentrate more on your editing and your storytelling and all the other cool stuff. So I would, there's a couple of cases where you just need to offload things. I think in her particular case, she's so talented in other ways that it's time to just leave that to someone else. I do. I leave editing on my new channel to someone else, because I'm like, I got other things I need to worry about. Sometimes it's time to do that thing. And in Jasmine's, journey, as we call her, case, I believe that's going to be the first thing she'll be able to offload, because everything else is working so well.
I was just looking through the about section, and I can see the value proposition here. This is basically, if you want to move internationally, or you're immigrating to another country, this channel's for you. If you're a single mom in your 40s, this channel may also be for you. And I think that comes across quite strongly in the thumbnails. And, even though we're saying that these thumbnails could do with a bit of work, I still feel as if they add a decent level of curiosity, as you say with this one, Travis, an unusual way to eat food. This and the text really works.
Yeah.
This one, I didn't expect to see this, and it's just a pigeon, I guess. Pigeons are allowed to roam around, or yellow pigeons are allowed to roam around cafes in Amsterdam. Terrible mistake. That kind of authentic, slightly stressed look. I'm so confused as I try to learn Dutch, and it doesn't match the title per se. I think there's a lot of good, consistent through lines and threads. And the last thing I wanted to look at here was the intro of the first video. So we'll just play this for the first 15 seconds.
I've used that song before.
For my very first international trip, traveling from the U.S. to the Netherlands to spend time with my Dutch partner exploring the country. There's only one problem. I haven't met him yet. So
that's a 15-second intro, right? And I would have to admit that just as we were getting towards the end of the intro, I was starting to get a little bit bored, because you were just telling me what you're doing. But those last few words, I haven't met him, just changes everything. It changes the game, stakes, the emotion. It starts the story, and that is like a brilliant intro. Another couple of things I noticed is, and Dan likes to use this phrase, she killed her darlings. And what I mean by that is impressive drone shot, but it's on for 2 seconds. Right? You don't want to linger on that. You have a time lapse of what looks to be a museum in the Netherlands. Okay, looks cool.
all
2 seconds. And so the pattern interrupts here. Her introducing herself.
for my very first international
You know,
trip,
that's even shot
traveling from the
vertically.
US to the
Nice little
Netherlands
motion
to spend
capture
time with
here.
my Dutch partner exploring
Some
the
more
country.
establishing
There's
shots.
only one problem. I haven't met him yet.
And then it just, that pivot at that point is brilliant. And then, you know, if we look at the quality of the footage, it's not brilliant, is it? It's like she's just running and gunning on her camera, but it keeps it authentic and real as well. And that's to emphasize that you don't need the flashiest equipment or whatnot. You just need to have a personality in front of camera and be brave enough to share that with an audience. And then again, yeah, I can see, even without listening to it, I can see the story being told, the B-roll, the footage is very quick and moving. And it's clear that, as you say, Travis, Jasmine's strength is in her, if you're still there, video and storytelling on the content, which is brilliant. And we lost Travis for a second. I think we might have.
It happens.
It happens. Okay. So I guess what we're doing here, so what we're talking about here is, as you said, Travis and Jeff, a channel that's been born out of vidIQ Max. Yeah. So for those who are brand new to vidIQ, what is Max?
So Max is our group coach option. When we were talking about for the last couple of years, how people wanted that's my dog. People wanted more help on YouTube. We try to do things for free. Like we have different kind of pay scales. We have free, which is this live stream. I know when I first started YouTube, and for the first year or so, everything I learned about YouTube was from live streams, free live streams. And there's that level of person who can do that, do it on their own, whatever. Then there's a level of person who wants more, but maybe needs help. And in a group community like Max, who everyone helps each other, we decided to kind of start this thing, which is now more of a community than anything. Not only do you have access to a bunch of calls with subject matter experts, also connections with myself, Jeff, and Alexi from the coaching team. You get a couple of live streams every month, as well as a private Discord, which tells you all of the things. Now, again, this is exactly what Journey has been a part of since day one. Now, here's the thing. It's not for everybody. I want to be amazingly clear about this. We don't want you to sign up if you think that just by signing up, you're going to blow up. That's not how it works. We've had some great successes. People have come in and worked hard. There's one particular person who came in from the live stream, from the actual vidIQ live stream, who was like, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grow. And what they had been doing before was using ads to kind of grow their channel, which doesn't really work. And they really had to think about things and come to grips with the fact that the way they were doing before was not going to work. Most people in their particular situation would have quit. Guarantee it. I've seen it a million times. They did not. And just with hard work and a little bit of time, they've grown their channel organically and not spent any more money on ads or anything. They've used the Max method. It works. Journey, use the Max methods. It works. It works. It works. But it's not easy all the time. Yeah, it's very hard work, and you've got to be able to commit to do it. Yeah.
But this channel behind it has hundreds of hours of time invested into it.
Oh, more than that. Yeah. she's in there all the time. Yeah. 100%.
So yeah. You know, beyond the conversations in vidIQ Max and beyond watching the subject matter expert videos, you've got to apply it. And this is the result, isn't it? This is the result of all of the application of vidIQ Max.
And not everyone has the time or money for it. That's why we do these free live streams. This is for you. If you don't have the time and maybe you don't have the funds for it, this stream right now is for you. You should be taking notes. You should have learned things in this stream already. Literally, some of the things that we teach in Max, we've just taught for free. Did you write them down? Do you have them? Because you're getting the opportunity right now. So if you really want this to be a thing and you do have the money and you know you're going to put something into it, come to Max. We will absolutely help you. So many people growing. It's kind of crazy because it's proven methods. We're not just saying it to say it. It is what it is.
And one of the, I guess, unofficial perks, you know, this doesn't always happen, but we'll just randomly decide, you know what, we're going to highlight somebody from vidIQ Max. And it's Jasmine's turn today. And, you know, although we've given her a lot of credit and a thumbs up for this fantastic channel that they've created, the one suggestion we do have is that maybe the thumbnails do need a little work on them. And so, you know, it might be time to outsource them going forward. And so we're always looking to give more advice even when channels are finding phenomenal success. So that is just Jasmine's journey. She also has another gaming channel, which is very successful. And you can learn about that and a lot more if you do want to decide to join vidIQ Max. There's more information here on our page devoted to it, vidIQ.com/max. And as a very special offer, we do have a treat for you that will enable you to save hundreds of dollars off an annual subscription to vidIQ Max. There is a promo code there if you want to add it to the price page, or if you just want to do it a simple way, we have a link in the video description at the very top, which will automatically apply that discount to save you, I think it's over $300 on the annual subscription to vidIQ Max. So do check it out. We appreciate your time. As we know, this is a service for people who want free and helpful advice, but we also know that some of you are reaching a point where you want to take your YouTube channel to the next level. You think less about YouTube channel as a hobby, more about it as a career, as a business. And vidIQ Max is definitely one of the ways you can do that. For less than $100 a month, you get all of the vidIQ tools that you can see on screen now. Like we got the real-time stats bar here. You want daily ideas for your channel, you get all of that included, as well as the family community we have at vidIQ Max. Jeff, I'm going to give you 10 seconds and one sentence to talk about vidIQ Max.
Join us if it's something you can afford. We're back, baby.
We've missed that. Okay, so we're now into the second hour of channel audits, and this is where things get a little bit random, a little bit chaotic. We don't know what we're going to come across here, but essentially, we have this claw machine, and you've been submitting your channels for auditing, and we have just under 500 submissions on the non-gaming channel, and just under 500 submissions. So we've got 1,000 channel submissions. This is what we mean by it can be a little random, a little chaotic. We don't know what we're going to pull out of a collection of balls here, but once we have a number, we take that to these forms. We type that number in, and we're auditing.
I think I saw someone doing the Office math. I love the Office. Someone doing the Office math for Max for a year. It's not $12,000. I mean, I was like, no, that's $12,000.
It is less than 10% of that price.
Back to school, sir.
Bro, let me tell you something. First of all, if that was the case, I would not probably be here. Listen, we're doing real good, but we ain't doing that good. My gosh. All right, sorry.
As Alan Rickman once said in Die Hard, Travis would be sitting on a beach earning 20%.
Darn right.
So what we do now is we're looking at the channel for the first time, and we're like first impressions. As a viewer, do I know if I'm in the right place within 5 to 10 seconds of looking at this channel? And when we
haven't we done this channel before? This looks really familiar.
We could have. We've done so many stop motion Lego animation channels in the last year, Travis, to kind of blend into one. But the mere fact that I've been able to identify it as a stop motion Lego animation channel within seconds is a good start. I know I'm in the right place if this is the type of stuff I want to watch. So we are seeing some superhero stuff, which is what we sometimes recommend, tying it into popular culture. I'm seeing Disney stuff. That's good to see as well. We have a collection of both long form content and shorts, but the long form content is very short as well. So you're sticking with these quick clip content, which is probably a good strategy as well. I'm seeing some slightly spiky views here. Some get thousands of views, others get hundreds of views. But I'd say that's all relatively strong for this channel. Let's just quickly look at the long form content then in terms of thumbnails and titles. Jeff, any initial thoughts there?
Let me see. I got to punch it in here.
I'll do that for you as well.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So I like what I'm seeing. I mean, some of these, even though they're short, they're putting full like thumbnails on them.
Yeah.
Like Lego Venomized Iron Man, like stuff like that. They're 10 seconds, although it looks like a regular video. But it also doesn't have the shorts logo on it, which is interesting. Is it just a short regular video?
I think it's
non-short?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
I'm gonna tell
Okay, I dig it.
How did he do that even? That's pretty crazy cool.
That's pretty cool. That's
That was
pretty
really
cool.
good.
Like, yeah, got to give it up. That's pretty dope. All right. No, I like what I'm seeing, especially when you do a thumbnail like this, where we're just showing the minifigure itself. We're punched in on it. It almost looks like a full-size human, but it's just, because we've got that macro kind of look to it. So I like what they're going with that route. As far as the other ones, they're actually not bad because even as shorts, it's seemingly pulling up a pretty decent image for the quote-unquote thumbnail. Now, I don't know. What do you think about all the hashtags in the titles, like hashtag Lego, hashtag meme, hashtag animation?
Yeah.
Add 7 for the description.
Yeah, same.
I think from a discovery point of view, it's still going to help YouTube. And I don't know. I guess in TikTok, you do add hashtags to the description, to the title sometimes, or I think it appears on screen. Maybe experiment with that. But having said that, Jeff, we look at all of the ones where they are including the hashtags, and they're performing pretty well. They're getting thousands of views.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. The ones that kind of underperformed are the regular short videos, the non-shorts short videos.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting, but I like what they're going with, especially with the animation style of it. I like it. I would definitely stick to what they're doing in that sense. But I would begin by looking at, is there popularity for certain types of characters over others, right? So what's kind of hot or trending in that sense around Marvel or around, whatever it might be. But because even Lego has its own trends in and of itself when new releases come out. But whenever there's new movies, whenever there's new, like right now, we're getting, Andor Lego sets for Star Wars Andor. So there's stuff like that where you can take advantage of a little bit of that, would be something worth doing if it's something that, you can afford to do.
I have to watch this one.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
I mean, I love the show Saul Goodman, and I love what they're doing there, but it doesn't connect to me. Like I don't.
No.
The idea was good, but the execution wasn't quite there.
Yeah. But I mean, the stop motion here is really great. There's there's some definite opportunity for viral videos.
They certainly have talent. Travis, I'm going to let you pick the last one. Which one should we watch?
What about 3 of the hardest things people say? You do that one already?
This one.
Yeah.
3 of the hardest things for people to say: I was wrong, I need help, and Worcestershire sauce. We're just...
Yeah, this creator's got it.
Yeah,
now here's the thing.
good.
Why is there a short and a regular at 50? That's weird, right? It's the same thing.
Shot exactly the same thing.
3 of the hardest things.
This is for shorts. This is perfect.
I was wrong.
Why is there a regular version of it too?
And Worcestershire.
I guess they're just experimenting with the concept that the algorithm is now communicating a little bit more with shorts and long form content.
Maybe.
Because
that was a good one. That was really funny.
Yeah.
So they do have some long form content that has got some good views as well.
What's the one with 1.9 million? What's that?
All right. Have a look. I've just realized that might be copyrighted music, and I didn't say anything.
Maybe.
So. Whoops.
Fine. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, for a meme thing, that was probably a cool thing. But yeah, like there's a lot of talent here, a lot of opportunity for some really great stuff. Rob, this type of content definitely can blow up in shorts, and certainly is easier to do for a short than it would be for like a 5-minute video. Take long. Which do you think they should do, or should they do both?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean about 5-minute videos.
In other words, long form versus short form for a video, for a channel like this, which do you think is the right way to go?
I think definitely continue to do shorts. I think what you may want to experiment with is if you have a theme of like 5 Star Wars clips, you could put them together in a montage and make it like 1 minute 15, 1 minute 30. But I mean, we don't know how long stop motion animation takes, other than it takes a very long time. And I don't know if you could sustain your audience for a video that's longer than 2 minutes. So I'll be thinking about doing compilations here, like service to your friend who said something dumb. That could maybe be combined with the 3 things that are really hard to pronounce because it looks like the same character in that one. And then all of these Spider-Man Venom ones, you can maybe put a compilation together. You know, so we're talking about 70 to 90 seconds as a test. I want to watch this one now.
Lightsabers then. Lightsabers now.
Yeah, that's kind of right, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, they just used to slice you in half, and now you get little scrapes and bumps. How many times did Obi-Wan get like just jabbed a little bit, but not killed? I ask that question to myself every single day.
Well, listen, the whole Star Wars thing, I love Star Wars, but there's a lot of like, why is this a different thing? Why does it work differently? That's so funny.
I guess they were OP, and now they're trying to nerf them a little bit. Nerfed lightsabers in 2022.
Yeah.
Profanity Gaming is the next one. So we're delving into gaming channels again. They have just over 500 subscribers. And I'm now trying to channel my innermost Dan here and see that you are doing a combination of Roblox and Minecraft and a combination of shorts and long form content. And when we look at the long form content, they are very long compared to the shorts. Sometimes you're doing a clip of 60 seconds or less, and then you're doing a video of 10 minutes or more. So you just have to think about whether your audience wants to watch the big contrasting content that you have there, because it looks like your shorts are performing relatively well. Each of them gets high hundreds, low thousands, whereas the long form content still really isn't picking up much traction. So one thing you may want to experiment with here is long form content that is perhaps 1 minute 1 minute 30 to 3 minutes long, to try and keep that pace and editing style that you probably have in your shorts. That's my first observation. I'm going to throw to Travis for maybe something else you've spotted here.
Yeah, I mean, so it's essentially, I'm trying to understand if it's a Minecraft channel or if it's a Rocket League channel or if it's an Among Us channel.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is they're similar-ish, but they're not exactly necessarily the same viewers. So when you're first starting out, like, it's kind of important to focus on a very specific type of viewer if you want to get any kind of traction. And then once you're past a certain point, you can kind of branch out. Some people, again, just do it just to have fun, and that's fine, in which case do whatever you do. But again, we're assuming if you're here, you're probably wanting to grow. And the best thing to do is to figure out who your viewer is. And if it's a Minecraft viewer, then you want to do some Minecrafty things. If it's a Roblox viewer, that's different. I want to try to attract, of course, we all do, but it's just not the way YouTube works.
I've been trying to phrase this in a way to make it click with viewers. And I've phrased it like this. You don't want to attract viewers who may want to watch your videos. You want to attract viewers who can't wait to watch your next video. The difference between a casual viewer who's not very loyal, will move on to something else very quickly, versus a viewer who is so committed to your content that they will turn up video in, video out, and just love your content. And that, I guess, from a YouTube educator's point of view, is like the worrying sign, isn't it? You don't want to try and attract everybody, because you can't please everybody. You want to be the focus of 1% of your audience's attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Jeff, any final thoughts, whether it be about thumbnails, titles, anything jumping out?
No, nothing really sticking out to me as far as this one goes. I think I would really focus more on continuing with the short form content, just based on performance right now. You know what I mean? That's really the thing I would do. But I like what you said about trying to stay closer to the format and maybe getting away from doing the 10, 15-minute videos and kind of getting them a little bit shorter down. It could help. It could help. If your audience is very accustomed to just seeing shorts or absorbing that, then they might be more willing to absorb something that's a little shorter in length. But you have to try it out. It's all about experimentation.
Surfanic Gaming there. Let's move on to the next non-gaming channel, and they are channel 316. This channel tells us they do drawing tutorials, and they call themselves Ricky Maru. And I think so far on every channel that we've looked at, or at least 80% of them, are a mix of shorts and long form content. Or like every creator at this point seems to be experimenting with shorts,
except me.
Well, it's because of all the things that are going on in shorts. Like, it's the hotness right now. I mean, it's funny because over the course of the last 2 years, there's been these moments where it's like becomes the hotness, and now it's the hotness again because of the monetization stuff and the fact that YouTube's now connecting it with longer form content algorithmically. Like, it's the new hot thing. And the reality is, like, it's not going anywhere. You can hate on shorts all you want. It's not going anywhere. Shorts are here to stay. What YouTube's trying to do is make it so that your channel can be live streams, video on demand, and finally shorts all in the same place. They've done some great changes to ensure that that's something that will work. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, even if you don't watch shorts, if your content style is something that could be valuable from shorts, then you should pay attention to it. That does not mean every single channel can do shorts. If your channel is about how to perform brain surgery, you probably shouldn't do shorts.
Oh, I would love to see a shorts channel on that, Travis. Come on.
I mean, we could try to watch it, I guess, but I mean, okay, maybe. You're selling me on this now. But yeah, it doesn't mean that just because shorts are working that they're going to work in your niche. You should do the research.
Yep.
Now, this channel, from what I can see, is having some short success. Every time they make a short, it's getting hundreds of views versus their long form content, which seems to be a more of a traditional style, how to paint this watercolor landscape. They have been at this endeavor for months, I would say at this point, just a little over a year. And, you know, a year into this, they're still getting 50 views or less on that content. So do you think YouTube / the audience is telling the creator here that maybe they should try to pivot to shorts for an extended period of time, like for the next 3 months? Let's only make shorts? Or am I crushing the creators' hopes and dreams of getting monetized through 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time?
I'm sorry, what were you asking me?
I guess it was a general question for both of you, but, you know, if you will.
Okay, I thought you were asking Travis. That's the only reason I didn't say anything.
Maybe I should condense it. So I'll be direct here. Travis, Jeff, should they do shorts for the next 3 months?
You need to not do that either, because asking 2 people to answer at the same time is going to have 2 people answer at the same time. You do this all the time, Rob.
It's better than silence.
No. You pick a person. You ask them a question.
All right, I'll pick a person. Travis is gone. Jeff.
All right. No, for me, what I'm thinking here is that they need to continue the mix, despite the fact that the shorts are getting higher view counts based on the kind of content that they're making. So because of the fact that they're doing, I'm assuming these are how to draw, like how to draw penguins and stuff like that. So either painting or art tutorials, then I would have a short piece, like a short video, whether it's a quick time lapse or however they're doing it, have that be your short, and somehow in there, in some form or way, try to get that to tie back into your long form piece of content. So let's say they saw how you did it really quick. Hey, if you want to see this in a slower step-by-step process, check out the full video that I'm going to leave for you in the video description, whatever it might be. But you can try to tie that in somehow. That'd be the way that I would play it. At least have both. You know what I mean? Because I've seen food channels do that very, very successful. So where they're doing the recipe for whatever they're doing, full long, long video, how to cook blank, but they have a short where they're tasting it. And that's how they're tying them in together. So every time they have a recipe, there's a short of them tasting it. Their recipe video, short of them tasting it. So
I just want to see. So as far as I can tell, so no narration there in a 6.5 minute video. It's just music. I'm wondering if that's why it's much better suited, this style of content, where there is no instructional advice and there's no strict tutorial here. That you have more impact choosing music and then jump cuts to this.
For the shorts, music makes more sense in my mind, but for the how-to, I would want at least, whether it's instructions in text on the screen, but if it's a how-to, you got to give me something. You know what I mean? Show me is one thing, but you got to give me something. Why am I doing it like this? Why am I choosing this type of pencil? Or why am I choosing this type of watercolor? Or why are you showing me this kind of a brush technique? But you got to give me something a little bit more.
We only looked at one video there. Let's just double check if that's what they seem to do. Yeah. So it is just music over a time lapse. And I would say if the creator has been doing that for the last this many videos and this amount of time, it's clear that the channel is never really going to grow or build an audience through that strategy. So certainly with the long form content, it's time to definitely freshen things up and try something new, but encouraging sign with the shorts.
For sure.
Travis, do you agree?
Yes.
Right. Okay, good. Then I'm going to show you this gaming channel. Let's see what we think of Minecraft Architect. I have certain expectations when I see a channel name like that, and they are delivered in the thumbnails.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. And look at some of the views on some of these. Really great.
Encouraging, definitely.
Really, really great. Yeah, again, subscriber size doesn't necessarily mean anything when it comes to views. Look at this. 12,000, 13,000, 10,000. Lots of views, and this channel does not have 10,000 subscribers. They're completely irrelevant.
I wonder if there's a bit of a delayed reaction on some of these. Like it takes a month for YouTube to find the right audience. Like, because, we have thousands of views here, and then these last 3 just haven't picked up any traction.
Yeah. That's actually fairly common. And the thing is, if you click on any one of these, Rob, you'll notice using our fancy dancy vidIQ tool, if you especially go to the one with 13,000 views, we can actually show you about how long it took to get that many views in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
We have, they don't have enough content views yet.
We're probably the first people from vidIQ who've looked at that video.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But typically on those, videos like this, you can actually see that information. We actually kind of surface that using the tool.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. It's interesting how we've just looked at a channel that has just music and is a watercolor channel and wasn't having any success, whereas this channel, again, it's just music in the background as somebody builds something, but this is getting views. What's the potential difference there? And I asked that knowing there might not be a good answer.
Hard to say.
Is it the Minecraft builds are just more satisfying inherently than drawing a watercolor?
The really only way to know is to see some of the retention. It might help in the click-through rate to understand if people were clicking and if they were, how long they were staying. Those are good indications of that. Yeah, hard to say. I mean, these all look kind of similar from the outside looking in, right? They're all impressive. So you would think that they would all have kind of similar-ish views.
Now, I'm just wondering if there's an opportunity here to take requests from comments, like what should I build next? Because all of these are architecturally very impressive. But would we be saying, okay, let's not build the pirate ship. Let's build the Pirates of the Caribbean Black Pearl ship. Or instead of building a log house, could you build the log house from Stranger Things? Instead of building a castle house, why don't we build Winterfell? Opportunities there to meld, blend culturally popular things into their content.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, you could take advantage of what's, of something that's already sort of trending in and of itself. So that's always a good way to go. I think they're always going to be able to, I think so here's kind of like what I'm going to say is the easy part of it. Minecraft has a huge audience and there's people who like to see these types of builds. Obviously, the proof is right there in the view counts. So how can we build upon this by trying to appeal to a broader audience than just the hardcore Minecraft YouTube viewers, right? How can we pull in other people? So I think that's sort of where Rob's getting at by trying to bring in some larger topics. You know what I mean? Something to give your build a theme.
Indeed. So promising stuff here from Minecraft Architect. We clearly know what we're getting into from the channel banner, the thumbnails. The thumbnails now don't have any text in. They used to, but the text was very light when it was there. And it's just something visually impressive and stimulating about an impressive build in Minecraft, I think, for fans of that game who probably know how difficult and how time-consuming it is to build something like this. They're certainly going to be interested by it. I guess last question, titles. Do you think it's fine as they are? Or do you think there needs to be a level of excitement added to these? Very searchable, very file name orientated, or do you think this is how the creator should keep it simple?
I don't understand the numbers. 7, 8, 9, 1.
I guess it's the 7th Minecraft reality build they've done.
It doesn't matter, and I don't know the answer to that. But do I have to watch the other 6 to understand what happens in 7? If not, take it out.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by the numbering system myself, to be completely honest.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe Tesh just not including the numbers. Maybe it's like Minecraft reality series might be a better way to label the titles. Let's move on. We're back into non-gaming territory here. 3, 2, 2. Next. This channel. Oh, hang on. So let me just check. This is the non-gaming channel submission form, and they are a game development channel. Would you class this as a non-gaming channel?
I mean, this is trying to get into. This is cooked.
It's borderline. It's borderline.
It's borderline. I would call it a gaming channel, but I understand what they're saying, and the views are good. So I don't know. What do you guys want? What do you want from us? You're doing really good.
If you want to linger on this channel because of some of the interesting stuff that's going on here, so 5,500 subscribers, in very, very impressive thumbnails. What makes the thumbnails impressive? Would you say?
I think it's all about the viewer for this type of content. When we see programmers, gaming programmer stuff, I've seen stuff that looks just like this. People have been kind of programmed to click on this type of thumbnail. So I think it kind of aligns with what's out there.
I think what I like about the thumbnails is that when they use text, it's simple, very easy to read. They're using, I guess, what's called a drop shadow to make that stand out, separate itself from the rest of the thumbnail. And then in a lot of these, they're blurring the background, and then the foreground images are very colorful, so it creates a really striking contrast. So my eyes are very much drawn to these thumbnails. I really like them in that sense. They are a bit varied, I guess, depending on the series, but I do like the thumbnails in particular. I think what's impressive about this channel as well is in that adding upgrades to my roguelike devlog 2. Now, to me, that's not a very interesting title to a brand new visitor to your channel. So I'm guessing that once somebody watches one of your videos, they're returning and watching more content. I would imagine the return views are very high here. I think I may click into one of these videos in just a second, but I would love any observations from you, Jeff, first, if you've spotted anything in particular.
No, they have a really good progression in their thumbnail skills, and they even had a video on how to make thumbnails for for developers, which I thought was pretty interesting. So it was towards the top. See how it says "Make great YouTube thumbnails." What makes a good thumbnail? What makes a thumbnail good for game devs?
Here's what's interesting though. That's like not their audience at all.
Not at all.
So
not at all.
It's an example of why, if you're going to stray away from your audience, be prepared for that type of response from your audience.
Yep.
But I'm glad to see that they return to their regular content afterwards.
Yeah, so that's a case in point for anybody who has something like that. Like, it's cool that you have the skill and you want to share it. That's awesome. But your viewers are not coming for that. They're not. They're just not. So, and that's proof right there. But yeah, I like how they've made that change. And even though they're doing episodic stuff like Devlog 1, Devlog 2, stuff like that, overall it seems very good. The titles are still to the point, even though it's like adding enemies to my roguelike and adding upgrades. They're keeping it simple and straight to the point. The thumbnails are not confusing, to say the least. They're using pleasing colors. So overall, I really like it. I mean, they're doing quite well for a channel this size.
I want to try this video, first 20 seconds.
So I really wanted to take part in Ludum Dare 50, but I had some IRL obligations I had to be there for. So to make myself feel like I was a part of the jam, I took part in the slaughter round, where everybody takes part in knocking out bad themes. And
so quite a slow, relaxed hook and introduction there. Again, as a new viewer, I might feel a little excluded from that conversation because you were talking about things that maybe I'm not aware of. But I can't argue with the audience and the numbers here, which are very, very strong, especially in the last 6 months, where you consistently be getting more views and subscribers. I just think that what's happening here is that all of your existing subscribers and viewers are returning to watch your next piece of content. You know, I was saying earlier that you don't necessarily want to appeal to viewers who may want to watch your content. You want to appeal to viewers who can't wait to watch your next video. I think this is what this channel is successfully achieving. And yeah, I assume you're already monetized and well on your way there. All awesome stuff. Can't really think of too many suggestions to add, really. I'm sure Dan would have something useful to add at this point. Yeah, using the community tab on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing really, really well.
Yeah, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff. So Help at Wesley. I'm going to class that as a gaming channel. So I'm going to pick out another non-gaming channel here. And this channel is all about entertainment. Escape to entertainment. Another channel. It's in the 5,000 subscriber channel bracket, more or less. Okay.
All right. So own a piece of nature.
Go on. Initial impressions.
Trying to understand what this channel's about. So
yeah,
some shorts.
I'm a little confused.
A lot of laughing emojis. So there you go. Look at that. Laughing emojis is the title of a short, and it got 8,000 views. So, go figure.
Shorts. Now, a question I have to ask here. The channel's got 4,000 subscribers, and all of the videos that they've posted in the last, and that's a significant number in the last 24 hours, have virtually no views at all. So I have to sort by most popular.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of videos that got thousands of views, but I'm not seeing what I would suggest is original content here. I don't know if this is all of their clips or not.
Yeah.
So it's kind of similar to the Quick News Daily, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to know. Are these not the same person? If not, this is an entertainment channel. Okay. Keeping you entertained. All right. If these are not the same people, that's your first problem. And then secondarily, let's say that it is. I mean, obviously that's not, right?
That's like red carpet interviews.
Yeah.
And then the next one is another couple in a car.
Yeah. She popped up out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, again, so let's just be clear. You can't do that. You can easily be copyright striked and taken down. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. You're not transforming it in any way. You're just reusing content. Do they have the thing where it says, if you see anything about, Oh, look, they have a WhatsApp connection right there. Beware of WhatsApp.
Yep.
I'm waiting for the thing that says, if you see something that's copyright, just contact me. Because remember, we used to get those home.
Yeah, I'll take it down. Or this is used under fair use.
Yeah.
What's in this description? There's nothing really in that description.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
So I'm confused at this point.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, I think they're confused as well. So
yeah, it makes the three of us or four of us.
Yeah, four of us all together. So yeah,
We're all confused.
Yeah. So basically, this is probably something like, even though they have some subscribers to show, it's the content's all over the place, and it kind of doesn't make sense. That there's no keeping you entertained. Cool story. Who are you targeting? You know what I mean? So there's just a lack of focus in who it is that they're targeting. Who are you trying to entertain? Are you trying to, if I was trying to entertain people, I wouldn't just say humans. That wouldn't be my audience. My audience would be specific humans who are into Minecraft or who are into cooking or washing cars or whatever. But I would pick.
So there's 3 questions I would ask here. I think, Jeff, you've already addressed the first one. Who is your target audience to a specific point of view? Now, if there's a loose target audience here, it might be families, or it might be relationships, or it might be Nigerian music culture. Those are kind of 3 themes that I've loosely seen in these videos. But then the next really important question is, why are you making this content? Are you trying to inspire people? Are you trying to take them on a journey from one place to another? Are you trying to educate them? And then the next question is, do you want to earn any revenue from this channel? And if the answer is yes, currently what we see, we would be very surprised if this would get past the YouTube copyright, reuse, repetitious sniff test. I think you're going to be in I'm going to say lukewarm water at this point. It may get hot the more content you take from other sources. But yeah, and to narrow it down to sending all of those questions into one simple question, as Travis mentioned earlier on, what is the point of this channel?
Yep, that's what it comes down to.
It's just stuff that doesn't look as if it's your original content from what we can see.
Yep.
So let's move on to the next channel. It is a gaming channel again, 475. And this channel calls themselves Random Coffee. Hit 1,000 subscribers. And I've just gone back to playing the Wind Waker. And I'm not enjoying it.
You don't enjoy any Zelda games anymore.
Here's the thing. I think I've realized that I've changed probably for the worst as a gamer, and I'm very impatient now. And so I'm starting to think that if I played Breath of the Wild 20 years ago, I would agree with everyone else and think it's the best game ever. But because it has a somewhat slow and deliberate pace, I can't tolerate that anymore. And I've realized that Wind Waker is quite similar. You have to sail for endless hours, going to islands where it tells you that you haven't got the item for this island, and then you need to sail somewhere else. And that's what I'm quickly discovering as I replay it. But I remember the first time I played it, I absolutely loved it. That's my weird and wonderful journey into gaming for another week. What are we seeing here? Lots and lots and lots of shorts. All consistently doing pretty well as well. Playing a lot of Super Mario World, I think, or Nintendo games. Shall we watch one of them for a second?
Why not? Let's see it.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna play hard levels today because I'm just dead. I'm just dead, and just listen to my voice. It's like crazy rogue. How do you call it? It's just not doing well. That's what it is. It is not. Okay, part 2.
How many views does this thing have?
So that one
he depressed me.
160. That one. Yeah.
That was depressed at the end of that video. Like, no, just show me the Mario guy. Why I'm so depressed? It's this P-Switch madness. He's like, guys, My voice, man. It's terrible. I don't know. Listen, you might have been happy coming into this video, but by the time you leave, you're going to want to jump off a bridge.
Maybe that was
Oh my God.
part of a persona of the channel. Should we try this one?
Oh, maybe.
Well, I know what you're thinking. Coffee, you're wearing the same shirt 3 days in a row. Well, hell yeah, I am. Okay? I am sick right now. Do you hear it? In my nose? In my voice? I am sick as hell. But it's all good because I don't have to go to school.
You know what I think? I think what he's trying to do, and I don't know if this is going to work. So one of the things we talk about is if you're going to have like true success on YouTube and be able to do multiple types of subjects to get people to be connected to who you are, right? Yeah. And it seems like he's leveraging the game to try to do that. Someone like Dream has done it excellently, right? So Dream just speedruns Minecraft, and now people want to see him unmasked, right? So that was a big thing. So, but it's almost like he's shoehorning it in over the gameplay. Like the gameplay itself might actually be interesting, but it's so small that I don't even know what to pay attention to. And when I pay attention to one, I can't pay attention to the other. So I'm choosing between him, who at some point is like, maybe it's not as exciting as you might think, and the gameplay, which is kind of small, and maybe I just tap out. I'm just like, is just not for me. So I wonder if it would be better for him to edit his stuff differently. So right now he's got top and bottom. Forget about that. How about you show the game, and then when you say something funny, you show your face, and then you go back to the game, and like give me a full focus of something. Like I can't figure out like what I'm supposed to look at on these.
I agree. It could be voiced over. I mean, literally, he wouldn't have to show himself in this.
Right.
So it can just show the video game. You can voice over if you want to put like, captions over it. You can do that as well. But I agree. It shouldn't be split in this sense. And if they absolutely have to show their face, I know some people really are particular about that. Put your head in a bubble and put it in a corner or something. But let the video game be the main focus. So one or the other. But I agree with Travis here that it's kind of splitting. So
the counter argument here, just play devil's advocate, is that they are playing a landscape game. And so if you were trying to crop that, it may look visually unsatisfying for the viewer. And so at least if you have the creator at the top of the screen and then the game on the bottom, it's kind of filling the screen a little bit. So that might just be an argument against what you're suggesting. But I'm certainly not suggesting that you shouldn't test that as something to maybe try. I just want to watch this one, which is the most viewed one on the channel.
The clear rate is pretty low, I think. I want to be part of it. Okay. This part is fine.
I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at the game because it's interesting.
Yeah.
This is good too. And then
it wouldn't matter to me if he was there. I'm watching the game right now.
It
looks very difficult. Look at that.
Games, yeah.
Let's go.
And now his reaction is fine. Everything up until I don't need to see him. Like do the thing, and then let's go. Like that would be cool. Not that it didn't do well, it did. But I mean, again, I think what he's trying to do, which is smart in theory, is to connect people to you so they'll come back for you. That's the smart thing. The execution, I don't necessarily agree with.
And just in terms of content-wise, lots and lots and lots of shorts, occasional attempts to do long-form content. But again, I fear the same issue whereby you're going from shorts of 30 seconds to long-form content of more than 10 minutes. Is there a shorter long-form piece of content you could probably experiment with there as well? So that was a random coffee. We got a little bit of time left here, another 10 minutes. Let's draw out another non-gaming channel, 372. And I will make sure I adjust the number of balls we're picking from, because I think we've now gone over our limits. So I will just make sure we cover that there. And the next channel we are looking at is Shannon Solange. I'm going to pronounce that. Let's see what type of channel we have here. Not your typical island girl, sensitive souls. Let yourself be inspired and live life to the fullest every day. I do feel as if those are all somewhat buzzwords.
Yeah.
So dancing around like the value proposition a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay though, because as a newer creator, sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and it's hard to put that into words, which is totally fine. Like it's something you'll kind of learn over time. But the problem with that is, based on that, I don't know what I'm getting out of your channel, and I don't know who you're targeting. And you may have like an overall arching idea of who it is you're targeting, or you may not. But that's one of the things where right now I'm not sure what we're getting here.
I mean, if I was just to look at the thumbnails, my assumption of a target audience might be inspiring females in their mid to late 20s who are free spirits, and they want to be a little more brave and confident in exploring themselves and the world. That's kind of the picture I'm painting of a target audience, but I'm not sure because I've not seen specifically that being emphasized in the packaging of the content. I may be completely wrong. I mean, I look at this title and sun damage, skin cancer exposed. That feels more like an expose video as opposed to a creative sneak peek to my first Skillshare lesson. So that seems very tutorial.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting. I'm having a hard time trying to like figure out, is there anything for me in this channel, right? Because it sort of seems like it's a lot of different topics, and I'm just having some trouble. Like I'm not sure if this is like better living on an island, or or is it tour guides, or so it seems a little all over the place. It seems very catch-all to like all the different concepts that they want to put out, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, if you're on YouTube to have fun or to kind of journal what you're doing, it's no problem with that whatsoever. But one thing you have to understand is that you do have to have a target audience if your goal is to grow this channel into something. So I would say, if anything, really want to hammer down on exactly what your goal is for the channel, and then you can start taking steps and moving in that particular direction. But that's one of the things right now, because I'm just kind of like, there's a creative sneak peek to my Skillshare lesson, and then there's Bon Air, a quiet tribute. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, me neither.
So it's just, it's just very all over the place. It seems like it's just not targeted.
It feels like a channel that's very much dabbling in right now, as opposed to really getting focused and taking a target audience and saying, I'm going to take them on a journey from point A to point B, and this is why you should watch me take you on that journey. Because what? Short film fiction, ASMR storytelling, creating beads and chains and wrist jewelry, a musical trip, I'm guessing, and then is this gardening? I don't know. There's a lot there, and that's over 2 months and 5 videos worth of content.
Yeah.
Let's pick another channel, shall we? 403 gaming channel. And this channel, Nairo. They're on their way to 1,000 subscribers. They're doing it through the power of YouTube Shorts. Another channel that is getting some healthy views on their shorts progressively, mostly Minecraft stuff. I mean, Jeff, maybe I'm being won over here by including hashtags in the titles, because this is another one that's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, for the channel size of 150 subscribers, every short is getting a decent amount of views. Maybe that is something that's worth testing.
Yeah, something maybe we're trying out.
Yeah. I think they're focusing on Hypixel, as is evidence from the titles. Every single title includes Hypixel. So you're very focused. Hypixel Bridge, I'm seeing as well. Over Edit as well is something I'm seeing consistently through all of these titles. And so this is where we was going back to the idea of you pick successful titles that work for your shorts and try to implement them. The content can be a little different every time, but fixing on a title that works with your audience seems to be a good, simple strategy to start off with on YouTube Shorts. Let's click on one. Let's see what happens. Okay, this is probably copyright music. So... fact, I'm going to mute it. I might as well. All right, it's fairly short. I must confess, I have no idea what's going on because it's Minecraft and that was very quick. But I would guess for your target audience who are hardcore Minecrafters, they understand what's going on here. And it's a very quick shot. I think it was less than 10 seconds.
Interesting.
And that's the development of a channel.
What is Hypixel?
It's a Minecraft mod, but I don't know what. Someone in the chat tell us what it is. Or they probably don't because I don't have time to read it. Sorry, I can't fit interest in Minecraft.
You were interested when you asked the question and lost interest after you realized what you just asked.
I lost interest halfway through asking the question.
It's a Minecraft server is what people are saying in the chat.
Yay, joy. That's looking good. The growing, the sustainably growing a shorts channel, and that looks very encouraging.
Yeah, for sure. They got to keep going with that.
So do keep it up. Do keep it up. I mean, you're posting your cadences once every 2 days. It looks like here, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. See if you can commit to at least one short per day, and stagger the. Hang on, that's the wrong link. Stagger the shorts. If you make like 5 shorts in one day, don't publish them all on that day. Stagger them a little bit.
Yep.
Right. I think I've got the link to this one now. Lady T Scott. Lady T's Things That Bling DIY videos. Designed, handcrafted, handmade crafts.
Okay.
1,000 subscribers. The views don't necessarily reflect the subscribers, so I'm going to investigate why that might be.
Interesting.
So they've had some success in the past, years ago, videos with thousands of views, but they seem to be in a rut right now where they're getting, on average, less than 100 views per video.
Yeah, they have a bit of a thumbnail issue here, especially with their latest videos, where it just kind of seems a bit overly complicated on what they're trying to show me. Because so check out how I created a hanging jewelry display. I don't see the latest video. I don't see the hanging jewelry display. You're not showing me the thing. So, for Lady T, that's the thing. So whenever we're going to talk about something like that, right? Like, let's say how I made this birdhouse, how I made this lamp, how I made whatever, that thing needs to be the single biggest thing in that thumbnail. You don't even need text, to be completely honest. Yeah. Show me the thing. So simplify, right? So instead of trying to overcomplicate it, I'm using all these words and all this thing and watch now and all the no. Simplify it. Just simplify it. Show me the thing.
I was hoping we were going to get some good thumbnails here, but
still not. But at the very least, the second one is showing you the thing.
That's not what I was expecting on that search.
Hanging jewelry design.
That's what jewelry display.
Oh, okay. To see. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I think it'd be better to show.
And you also misspelled jewelry, sir.
I know.
Maybe that's fine. Yeah.
Anything else? You try to have the conversation. And
oh my God, no! I wish Savage was here. I can't even begin to tell you. There is some shenanigans going on in chat that is slaying me right now. I am done. We need to go.
Right, Jeff. So look, this is what we want to see, right? Just images of this display. This is what you're getting into if you click on this thumbnail.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's the advice. For Lady T, is really just think about how can I, because it's your packaging, right? So your video is a product, and you have to think about your packaging. And right now, it's like, okay, check out how I created hanging jewelry display. I'm not sure what else it says. I would probably slim that down to how to create a hanging jewelry display if it's a how-to video, or something along those lines. But first things first, you got to change that thumbnail. Like that's got to be the next thing you do on your YouTube channel is fixing that thumbnail. If you have this jewelry display, snap a picture of it. If he sold it to somebody or gave it to somebody, tell them to take a picture of it and send it to you. So we got to change that out. And then with the third one here, the September 21st, 2022 is the title of this video. Yep. That is a file name. That is not a video title. So we got to change that. You got to tell me why I should be clicking on this. And then secondly, in the thumbnail, watch and create side table with Dollar Tree items. Cool. Show me the side table. We can eliminate all the rest of that. So I just want you to kind of rethink your strategy on thumbnails, especially when you're going to talk about something you made. Show me the thing.
I mean, the title could be create a side table with Dollar Tree items. You show this image blown up, and then next to it, the cost, $7.
Yeah, easy.
That would be a much more enticing thumbnail to click on.
Yeah,
definitely. Thumbnail and title research is where you want to start. My guess, I may be wrong about this, but my guess is that what you do is you make the video, and that probably takes you a couple of hours, maybe days. You upload it to YouTube, and then you decide on your thumbnail and title. That's my assumption. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm feeling like there's a feeling of desperation, or I just want to make a thumbnail and title quickly because I'm done with this video. I'm ready to move on to the next one. That's the vibe I get here.
Yeah, and here's to be fair. Now, it doesn't apply to everyone. But when Travis and I and our coaching team were talking to channels on a one-on-one basis, 99.9% of the time, that's what people were doing. There would be their very rare, I could see people's mind being blown when I would tell them that they needed to have a thumbnail and a title before they recorded their video. Like, that was a shocking revelation that I would break to people. Like, you need to do this first. And that way everything else falls into line. But yeah, that's really the thing they need to work on for Lady T, is just focus on those things. Because I like the fact that they're consistent. They've been uploading consistently. I think it's just the packaging. We just got to work on that packaging.
And Jeff and Travis, we have successfully navigated an entire live stream without Dan looking at some gaming channels. Way, woohoo.
Woo. We did it.
Nice dance, Travis. Jeff, I want to thank you very much for your time and joining us today. Same for you, Travis, of course. Both of you vidIQ Max coaches. I'm going to give you another 20 seconds just to remind people why they want to join vidIQ Max, if it's right for them.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not for everybody. If you are willing to really dive in, make the commitment to try to grow your channel, you want to know things, you want to be able to bounce ideas off of people, whether it be thumbnails, titles, topics. We do all of that stuff in the private Discord. If you want to learn things about YouTube that really only subject matter experts can teach you, it's there for you. It's the price of a coffee every day. If you go to Starbucks every day, you could pay for Max easily. And the thing is, to be perfectly honest, it's not only the best deal in YouTube. I mean, some people might go, oh, it's a lot of money. Not really. Because here's the thing. If you grow a channel to monetization, you will pay for it very quickly. And other options that are out there are 3 to 4 times what we're charging. And we're giving you a whole bunch of value. So anyway, if it's interesting to you, go for it. If not, come back tomorrow for another free live stream. There you go.
Indeed. How can you not join a service when you have such fantastic T-shirts as the one Jeff?
We got amazing T-shirts. You got cookies too.
As Travis mentioned, I will be back with whom I do not know to do video reviews. Hope to join you then.